Hello, everyone, and welcome inside to UCCU Ballpark here at Utah Valley University, where day 2 of 5A bracket play is set to get underway. Our first matchup features the 12-seeded Salem Hills Skyhawks and the 3-seeded Jordan Beetdiggers. I'm JT Wistersill, excited to be with you for what should be another great day of baseball. While we have a moment, let's look at the results of yesterday's games that landed both of these teams in this position. This is our first game of the losers bracket, so the loser of today's game will be eliminated while the winner will go on. First, for Jordan, they got upset by the 13th-seeded Wasatch Wasps in a thriller, 9-7. Then for Salem Hills, in our nightcap that took place at 7 last night, they lost in a late close contest, falling 9-5 to the Olympus Titans. That lands us here with first pitch just moments away. We'll look at the batting order first for the visiting 12th-seeded Salem Hills Skyhawks. It'll be Spencer Vance, who's just about to step in, followed by Sam Richards, Zaylen Fenn, Charlie Cushing will bat cleanup, Cam Corbin in the 5th spot, Nolan Miller will bat 6th, followed by Wyatt Hickman, then Zach Nelson in the 8th, and Luke DeGraff and Reed will bat 9th. Oakland Vigil, the man on the mound for the Beetdiggers, set to deliver our first pitch of the day. Slow to the outside for ball 1. How things look for the Beetdiggers in the field. Caden Alder at catcher, Cole Kershaw at first, Evan Atkinson at second, Kobe Carter at third. Vance launches it into center field directly to Mathis, who retires him for the first out of the day. Cade Larson at shortstop. Hunter Gatti. Stockton Mathis in center field, who just made the catch. And Bridger Beecham. That brings up the designated hitter, Sam Richards. Richard fouls the first ball off to fall behind in the count, 0-1. Line drive will break through right up the middle of the Beetdiggers defense as Richards gets the bats hot. The first hit of the day belongs to Richards as he makes it to first. That'll bring Zaylen Fenn back out. Fenn had a 2-run homer he launched into left field last night. See if he can recapture that momentum as he prepares to face off against Vigil. Fenn lets the outside ball pass. First strike of the at-bat, delivered by Vigil as he gets back in the count. Checks Richards on first. Now sets, delivers. Another sent into center field. Back on it is Mathis, who will make the grab. So all 3 balls have been put in play. Vance and Fenn's both directed to center field as Mathis gets some early action, with Richards remaining on first. Now 2 outs in the inning, with Charlie Cushing, the third baseman, due up. Unsuccessful pickoff attempt. Cushing had a double in yesterday's game that brought in 2 runs for the Skyhawks. Vigil. Shakes off the first pitch, likes the second one better. Fires. Gets Cushing to bite. Our count once again at 1-1. Salem Hills scored 2 runs to open things up versus the Titans in yesterday's game. They held the lead through the first 2.5 innings, but would let Olympus get going offensively after that. Cushing grounds it over to Atkinson, who struggles with it for a moment, but still gets it to Kershaw in time for the out on first. Let's go. Skyhawks retired, had 1 hit, left 1 runner on base. No errors or runs, so we'll turn things over. See what the Jordan Beetdiggers have at the bats. It's going to be Stockton Mathis, the man very involved defensively early, leading things off, followed by Hunter Gotti. Cole Kershaw will bat third. Caden Alder batting cleanup. Evan Atkinson, the man who just got the final out of the inning, will bat fourth. Evan Atkinson batting fifth. Colton Austin batting sixth. Cade Larson will follow him, followed by Kobe Carter in the 8th spot, and Bridger Beecham will round out the batting order for the Beetdiggers. For the Skyhawks in the field, Cam Corbin gets the start on the mound. Played shortstop yesterday. Luke DeGraffenried at catcher. Zach Nelson at first. Max Wilson at second. Charlie Cushing at third. Zaylen Fenn, who got the start yesterday for the Skyhawks, shortstop today. Wyatt Hickman in left field. Nolan Miller in center field. And Spencer Vance in right field. This game between the Skyhawks and Beetdiggers, our first game of the day. Looking at how the rest of the day will play out. Immediately following this game, or at 1:30, we'll have the 9th-seeded Orem Tigers taking on the 22-seeded Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. Then at 4:30, we'll have our winners bracket from the bottom of our bracket 2 with Wasatch and Olympus doing battle. And in our nightcap, Lehigh will take on Bountiful to close out day 2 of bracket play. We'll have 4 more games on hand as this single is trapped. Foot race to first. Did they beat him? They did not. So Nelson had to dive off first to stop the ball from squeezing past. Corbin in a foot race could not beat the speedy Mathis, who reaches first. So Mathis on first with Gotti now due up. Pickoff attempt unsuccessful. Gotti, the left fielder. Awaits the pitch. Lets the outside ball pass. Even the count at 1-1. This one skies into left field. And making a play just in fair territory was the left fielder, Wyatt Hickman. So Cole Kershaw now due up. Kershaw in yesterday's game versus Wasatch had a double. Mathis, the runner currently on first. For Jordan, also had a double. 0-1 the count. Or excuse me, 1-1 after the previous pitch evened us up. Back-to-back outside balls delivered by Cam Corbin. Mac Wilson, the second baseman, got the start at second yesterday, also saw some time on the mound. Kershaw looking to be the second Beetdigger to reach base. Could come off the walk. Instead, we'll face full count for the first time today. Cole Kershaw, the first baseman, awaits the pitch from Cam Corbin. That one launched into right field for a home run. The 3-2 count pitch is slammed by Cole Kershaw, who will bring in the first 2 runs of the day for Jordan. Jordan did not score in yesterday's action. Cole Kershaw turns that around as he hops across home plate and awaits his teammates. Kershaw with a huge play. Spencer Vance out in right field, gave up on even chasing after it. So Salem Hills jumped out to an early 2-0 lead in their game versus Olympus. Now, Cam Coburn try to get things right. He nearly hit Caden Alder. Alder had a prolific day yesterday, accounting for a double and a triple. Alder, the catcher. That's the second ball pass. He'll exhale, step back in, give home plate a tap, and await Coburn's delivery. Coburn is hit. This one sailing into left field, and it's gone. Another home run for the Beetdiggers. Back-to-back big-time hits for Jordan. This time it's Caden Alder. The last one was launched into right field by Kershaw. This one into left, and he'll stomp on home and greet his teammates. Evan Atkinson, the second baseman, and a starting pitcher for the team in yesterday's game, will now be due up. We'll see if he can make it 3 straight home runs after Nalder drilled Coburn. Grounder will break through. Rolls in the left field. And that'll be a double. Slide into second. It's the second baseman, Evan Atkinson. So just 1 out and a 3-0 lead for the Beetdiggers over the Skyhawks. Colton Austin, the DH, now due up for Jordan. That hit by Atkinson nearly foul, but stayed right on the third baseline. Coburn is launched again. That one flew into left field. The bat's extremely explosive for Jordan, as that ball was smashed What a hit by Austin. That's 3 home runs in the last 4 batters faced for Coburn. Colton Austin with the huge hit. What a performance by Jordan early. They have 5 hits, 3 of them home runs. They lead 5-0 in our first inning. That one nearly reached the top of the second fence, seated on our berm in left field. Fan actually caught the ball. But what a huge hit from Austin. Not surprising to see the Skyhawks talking things over on the mound. Coburn, the junior, struggling. Head coach of Salem Hills, Scott Haney, trying to figure things out with his infield. So Cade Larson now due up. Larson bites on the first pitch. Is action in the bullpen going for Salem Hills. Still just 1 out. Larson, the shortstop, falls to 0-2 after swinging. Coburn looking for his first strikeout. And he'll get it. 3 straight pitches. He'll retire Larson. Kobe Carter now due up. Coburn trying to get his team out of it. Delivers 2 straight balls to Carter. Despite Cam Corbin's struggles, he's yet to walk a batter. Carter allows the first strike to pass. This one's sent into right field, high, and secured by Spencer Vance. So what an early performance for the Skyhawks. Or excuse me, for Jordan. As Jordan leads 5-0 after 1. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Welcome back inside to UCCU Ballpark, where the Beetdiggers have a 5-run lead over the Skyhawks after an explosive bottom of the first that featured 3 home runs for Jordan. Cam Coburn, struggling pitcher, will now step in to the batter's box. He sends one into left field. It'll take a bounce, almost a home run. Instead, it'll reach the wall. So Coburn gets some revenge, gets his own double. That'll bring up Nolan Miller. Jack Guest will be the pinch runner on second. Joe Guest on second with Nolan Miller due up. Oakland Vigil gave up 1 hit in his first inning on the mound. We'll see if he's able to stand strong here. One count. Miller. Count goes to 2-1. No strikeouts for Vigil yet. He'll need to deliver another strike before and be in position to capture the first one. Gets Miller to bite. 2-2. Nolan Miller chops it, and it's misplayed. Kobe Carter tried to come over, but couldn't feel the low grounder, allowing the Skyhawks to get another base hit. That'll be our first error of the day. It's charged to Kobe Carter. That'll bring up the left fielder, Wyatt Hickman. Hickman had a very productive afternoon in yesterday's game. Fouls this one off. In 4 at-bats, he had 2 hits, 1 run. Two runners on. Nearly swinging at it was Hickman. He wisely pulled back. Vigil looking for his first strikeout. Can he secure it here? Have to wait on another pitch as this one's chopped into foul territory. Hickman. Is retired. Beautiful breaking ball from Oakland Vigil. So Hickman, the first strikeout of the day for Oakland Vigil. That'll bring up Zach Nelson with Luke DeGraffenried on deck. Nelson, the first baseman. In yesterday's game, 2 at-bats. Walked and struck out once. So first out of the inning. As Nelson will look to bring some runs in or load the bases. Graff and Reed on deck with Vigil delivering and finding the strike zone. Nelson set. And the ball's delivered by Vigil, so bases loaded, just one out for the Skyhawks. It's the first batter walked by Vigil today and brings up DeGraff and Reed, the catcher. DeGraff and Reed struggled last night versus the pitching of Olympus. Talked about the 3 strikeouts, but a great opportunity to turn his luck around. Spencer Vance on deck. Is a Jordan team that comes in 21-7 on the season. They were 15-3 in Region 8 play. They had won 7 straight going into yesterday's game versus Wasatch, which they looked to be in good position to win, but those 5 runs by Wasatch in the 7th proved too much for the Beetdiggers to overcome. So 3 straight balls delivered, in danger of walking in his first run of the day is Vigil. As Coach Fifey, Chad Fifey, makes his way to the mound, talk things over with his pitcher. Taking a closer look at that Wasatch game versus Jordan. We were scoreless through the first inning with Jordan then jumping out to a 2-0 lead. Wasatch would score 3 runs combined in the 3rd and 4th inning to take a 3-2 lead. They would add 1 more to that total in the 5th. So leading 4-2, but then 5 runs by Jordan in the bottom of the 5th with no runs scored in the 6th. It looked like the 7-4 lead was going to be too much for the Wasps to overcome. But in that 7th, the Wasps stayed hungry, and those 5 runs. At the end, Wasatch had 14 hits to 9 for Jordan. Proved too much to overcome. .3-0 the count. The meeting over. Vigil delivers a strike. Coach Fifey tried to straighten out his pitcher and calm his nerves. Did it work? At least not at the moment, as it does walk in the first run of the day. So back-to-back walks. That brought in Cam Corbin. So Coburn crosses home, putting Nolan Miller at third. Zach Nelson to second, and Luke DeGraff and Reed on first, with Spencer Vance returning. Vance in 3 at-bats yesterday had 1 hit, 1 run, and a run brought in. Also walked to base. Vance once again watches in his first at-bat of the day. He sent one into center field. Vigil. The ball's chopped. Vigil on the season, .564 the ERA, a 4-1 record in 10 appearances on the year. Also credited with a save. Opportunity for an out here. Calling for it is Atkinson. And he'll secure it. So Vance with a short pop is retired. That'll bring up Sam Richards, who had the first hit of the day on Vigil, sending one into center field. Richards in last night's game. In 3 at-bats, had 2 strikeouts, a walk. Also scored a run and got a hit. This one fouled, making a strong effort, but unable to reach it is Kobe Carter. Is some action going on, or at least bodies occupying, not actively warming up for Jordan. But for Vigil, 36 innings pitched. He's allowed 48 hits, 34 runs, 29 of those earned, 18 walks to 36 strikeouts, and 185 batters faced. 2 outs now in the inning. 1-1 the count. Richards sends it high to Gotti, who leaves 3 Skyhawks stranded on base. So Jordan gets out of it. They only surrender 1 run, still lead by 4. We move into the top of the second at UCCU Ballpark. Bottom of the second, about to get going as Jordan returns to the bats. It's Bridger Beecham, the right fielder, up first. Then we'll turn it back over to Stockton Mathis and Hunter Gotti, the top of the batting order for the Beetdiggers. Recapping that action in the first inning for Jordan. First, it was Mathis who won the foot race, reaching first. Then Gotti flew out to left field. Kershaw had the 2-run homer. He smashed into right field, bringing himself and Mathis in. Then Caden Alder had the solo shot immediately after, whacking one in the left field. Evan Atkinson had the ground ball that stayed just in fair play along third base. Then he was driven in by Colton Austin's 2-run homer. Grounder fielded by Fenn, who gets the easy out on Beecham. So Austin had the 2-run homer that brought himself in Atkinson. That was the 3rd home run in the 4 batters for the Beetdiggers. Then Larson struck out and Kobe Carter flew out into right field. And with Bridger Beecham just grounding out, that'll bring back Mathis, looking to become the first player to reach base twice today. The loser of this will be eliminated. The winner will go on to play in the first game of tomorrow versus the loser of the Wasatch Olympus game. Two on the count for Mathis, who in yesterday's game had 4 at-bats, had 1 hit, struck out once. Currently ahead in the count, 3-1. Home plate umpire will call time as he'll switch the balls. As we're set for the 3-1 delivery. Coburn. This one sent by Mathis. They take a bounce in shallow center field. for his second base hit of the afternoon. Hunter Gotti returns to the batter's box. His last plate appearance. Flew out in the left field. Gotti in 4 at-bats yesterday. Had 1 run, a hit, and a run brought in. No one warming up for the Skyhawks at the moment, so Cam Coburn in command. There were members of the Salem Hills warming up before that bottom of the first ended, but after Coburn was able to right the ship, the game's hit as a grounder is sent up the middle. So the ground ball passes through second base. Allowing Gotti to reach first for the first time today. Bring up Cole Kershaw. Kershaw, last time we saw him, the 2-run homer. Kershaw in yesterday's game had the 1 hit, the double, brought in a run. Also allowed a hit. Had 9 putouts yesterday as well. So a strong 2-way player in Kershaw. Looking at some of the numbers for Coburn on the season. 121 the ERA, 5-1 record, and 11 appearances. Also credited with 2 saves. He's pitched 40 in 1 innings. He's allowed 32 hits, 10 runs, 7 of those earned. 12 walks to 33 strikeouts as Kershaw chops it. Foul. Coburn had only surrendered 1 home run coming into the day. Already given up 3 in our early afternoon matinee. He's faced 151 batters in total on the season. So Kershaw with 2 runners on in Mathis and Gotti. 1-1 in the count. This one's fouled up and unplayable as it sails in the bullpen of Jordan. Kershaw did not strike out in yesterday's contest. Coburn looking for what would be his second. But first, Kershaw going to take a second. Calls time, then resets after tapping home plate. Cam Coburn delivered it low. For the 2-2 count, Luke DeGraffenried will come out to the mound from his catcher spot to talk things over with his starting pitcher. Kershaw's first home run of the day came on full count. We remain at 2-2 in the count with Cam Coburn set to deliver. Full count off the ball. Last time was a home run for Kershaw. Coburn looking to prevent that from happening here. And Kershaw will walk. That's the first walk surrendered by Coburn on the day. That will load the bases with just 1 out. Salem Hills in the previous inning left 3 stranded on base. So Caden Alder, catcher now due up. Last time we saw him, had a home run that he launched into left field. For Alder, 4 at-bats yesterday. Had 2 hits, brought in a run, and struck out. In his 4 at-bats, he'll call for time. Coburn delivers the outside pitch to even the count at 1-1. Oakland Vigil, the pitcher for the Jordan, walked in the lone run of the top of the second. Cam Coburn trying to prevent that from happening here. He's able to pull ahead in the count with the strike delivery. Alder nearly swung at it. He'll wisely pull back, bringing our count to 2-2. In our first game of the day at UCCU Ballpark. It's located at Utah Valley University. Alder had a home run last time we saw him. We'll see what he does here. Second straight batter. We've reached full count off the ball delivery. Salem Hills in danger of walking in a run. Already 7 hits on the afternoon for the Beetdiggers. Great opportunity to score here. The delivery is a ball. So Coburn walks in. Stockton Mathis, the second run, walked in of the game. Going to have a pinch runner come on as Zach Austin takes first. So back-to-back walks for Coburn. It's going to get the bullpen going again for the Skyhawks. And Evan Atkinson due up in our now 6-1 game. Jordan able to recapture the 5-run lead. Atkinson had the ground ball to second. Atkinson also pitched in yesterday's game, but at the bats. In 2 at-bats yesterday, had a walk and a strikeout. On the mound, he pitched 6 innings, allowed 9 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those earned. Had 5 strikeouts, 2 walks in 30 batters faced. Threw 107 pitches in total. One the count. Atkinson calls time and steps out. So it's Gotti at third, Kershaw on second, and Cade Alder's pinch runner, Zach Austin at first. That ball well trapped by DeGraff and Reed. If it would have gone past, more than likely would have scored a run. Atkinson swings, gets nothing. 2-2, the count shifts. This is the Salem Hills team that's 18-12 on the season. They were 9-7 in region play. Atkinson fouls that one back. They had won 8 of their last 10 heading into their matchup versus Olympus, which they lost 9-5. Placing them here versus the Beetdiggers. The full count pitch. Third straight batter, we've reached it. Is a slow roller to first, where Atkinson is retired. After Nelson fielded it and stepped on the bag, but it does bring in a run. Has Gotti able to score with Kershaw. Now settled on third. Cade Nalder. So Nalder at second. Or excuse me, his pinch runner, Zach Austin. With Colton Austin, the last of the home run men, due up for the second time. Austin's was also destroyed into second field. Outside delivery for the 1-0 count. Now 2 outs in the inning. Just 2 runners on base in our 7-1 game. Austin skies it up. Is it gone again? It will be the 4th home run of the game for Jordan, the 2nd on the day by Colton Austin. He walloped that ball. What a performance by the designated hitter, living up to that monarch. Crosses home, touches the helmets, and awaits the dugout. Mound meeting going to take place as Coach Haney makes his way over. And that'll end the day for Coburn. 10-0 our score. After that home run from Austin, brought in 3 runs. We'll see who Salem Hills calls on when we come back. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Jordan with a 10-1 lead over Salem Hills. The Skyhawks and Coach Haney decided to turn to Dagan Gamel. The sophomore will take over.
Now pitching for Salem Hills, number 11, Dagan Gamel. Now batting the shortstop, number 9,
Cade Larson now due up. Last time we saw Larson, he struck out swinging. Oh, 1 the count. So 2 straight strike deliveries. The count. That one's fouled off. Two outs in the inning, but no runners on base after Austin cleared him with the homer. And that was a strike, so Larson goes down for the 2nd time today. Gamble comes in and wastes no time getting the Skyhawks out of it, but not before they surrender another 5 ones. With Salem Hills trailing 10-1 as we enter the 3rd. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Beetdiggers in command here at UCCU Ballpark. A commanding 10-1 lead. It's 8 hits to 2. Jordan leads. Oakland Vigil will look to make sure the lead stays by 9 runs. He's due to face Zaylen Fenn, Charlie Cushing, and Cam Coburn. For Fenn in yesterday's game, 4 at-bats, had the 1 run. 3 hits, 2 runs brought in. Also struck out once. And I mentioned one of those hits, a huge home run. As Vigil is finally ready. So Fenn, Cushing, and Coburn all due up.
For Salem Hills, the shortstop, number 8, Salem Fenn.
Fenn will step in to get the bottom of the 3rd started. Or excuse me, top of the 3rd. Fenn 0-1 in the count. Last time we saw Fenn, he flew one out into center field where he was retired. For Vigil, 1 strikeout to 2 walks in the afternoon. In a good position to get a 2nd strikeout, pulling the count to 2-1. Vigil. Delivers the outside ball, bringing us to 2-2. Fenn pops it over everyone's heads into foul territory, over the net. Vigil looking to get the inning started with a strikeout. Can he do it here? Yes, he can. Fenn did not swing. Disagreed with the call as he returns to the dugout. But great pitching by Oakland Vigil. Retires Fenn. Charlie Cushing now due up. Cushing, last time we saw him, was retired at first. Fouls this one off. For Cushing, 4 at-bats in yesterday's game versus Olympus. He had 2 hits, brought in 2 runs, and struck out twice. Cushing chops it fair, or in foul territory, excuse me. That ball delivered just to the outside. The first one Cushing has received. Cushing looking to reach base for the first time today. Oakland Vigil looking to make it 2 up, 2 down. Line drives hit into right field. As Cushing takes first. That'll bring up Cam Coburn. He's the first batter of the 2nd inning. In his previous plate appearance, he smashed one into center field. In yesterday's game, Coburn, 3 at-bats. Had 1 hit, a walk, and a strikeout. As the pitcher-on-pitcher battle ensues. Coburn nearly swung at it. Probably should have, as it evened the count to 1-1. Coburn attempts the pickoff with Kershaw. It's unsuccessful. As Cushing remains safe on first. Coburn bites on that pitch, dropping to 1-2 in the count. The first batter of the inning, Zaylen Fenn, was retired via the strikeout. Vigil trying to retire Coburn the same way. 1-2 delivery. It's a low ball that passes by, allowing Cushing to easily make it to second. Count goes to 2-2 on the near wild pitch. Coburn awaits the delivery. Vigil set for it. Checks back. Winds, fires, and hits. Coburn will reach first. Could very well have a pinch runner for him. But now that Coburn's no longer the pitcher, it looks like he will stay settled as Nolan Miller returns. So an unfortunate stretch there for Vigil. Looked in great position to capture the second out, getting ahead in the count, 2-1. So Nolan Miller comes back up. Last time we saw Miller had a ground ball that reached left field. As this one is sent past 2 Beetdiggers. And that's going to bring in a run. Charlie Cushing slides across home. Second base hit of the day for Miller. It's the first Skyhawk to reach base for a second time. That moves Corbin to second. Miller himself now settled on first. Last time we saw Wyatt Hickman, he struck out swinging. So he awaits Vigil's delivery. This one's sent sky high, and it'll drop. Fielded by Beecham, and that'll load the bases up with still just 1 out in the inning. Runners were held up as it looked like it held in the air so long, it looked like it was going to be an out for Jordan, but instead drops perfectly. So that'll bring Zach Nelson up off of Hickman's. Fair pop. So Hickman to first, Miller to second, Coburn to third, with a meeting taking place amongst the infield of the Beetdiggers. Last time we saw Zach Nelson, he was able to walk. It was the first walk given up by Vigil. Vigil only with 2 walks, with those walks being from Nelson and DeGraff and Reed, who's on deck. Mentioned there was action underway in the bullpen. Of Jordan. We'll see if Visual can finish this one out. 0-1 the count. Nelson grounds it. It's fielded. Chance for a double play, but misplayed. Cade Larson unable to secure the ball. That'll be the second error of the day. Charge to Jordan. As the bases remain loaded with Miller now to third, Wyatt Hickman to second, and Zach Nelson at first after Cam Coburn scored. Making this now a 7-run game. Luke DeGraffenreid now due up, walked in his previous at-bat. That time hits one back into the net. Just a little over an hour into our first game of the day at UCCU Ballpark. 1-1 our count. This ball hits sky high. Dropping and securing it is Atkinson. That'll bring back up Spencer Vance. Vance yet to reach base today. Bases are loaded. Flew out to first last time we saw him. Then flew out to center field, then popped out to second in his previous two at-bats. He lets the first ball pass. Vance batting .388 on the season. That's another low ball pass. He has 38 hits on the season in 98 at-bats with 18 strikeouts and 11 walks to his name. Fly ball sent and will be secured by Stockton Mathis, who retires Vance for the second time today. So Jordan able to score 2 runs in the third, but for the second straight inning, they leave 3 runners. Salem Hills leaves 3 runners on base. So Skyhawks close the gap slightly, but still a 10-3 lead for Jordan. Bottom of the third, due up next at UCCU Ballpark. For Jordan, with Kobe Carter, Bridger Beecham, then Stockton Mathis, bringing with him the top of the batting order. For the Beetdiggers, I'll do up. Dagan Gamel still on the mound for Salem. Gamel delivers the first strike. Cade Larson, the last batter he faced, in which he struck out. Larson. For Gamel, 1.43 the season ERA. 2-1 the record. 7 appearances on the season, also credited with 2 saves. Won the count. Gamel, 14-2 innings pitched, has allowed 12 hits, 7 runs, 3 of those earned, 8 walks to 15 strikeouts, and has faced 66 batters on the year. Third straight ball delivered to Carter. 3-1 the count. Gamel. This one a chopper. Hit to Fenn. who secures the out to first. Carter flew out into right field the last time we saw him.
The right fielder, number 6, Bridger Beecham.
This time he was retired with the ground ball, with Bridger Beecham now due up. Last time we saw Beecham, he was retired with the grounder over to Cushing. Or excuse me, it was Fenn. As this one's a short chopper. Fielded by Gamel. 2 up, 2 down just as quickly for the Beetdiggers. That'll bring up Stockton Mathis. This will be the 3rd time today we've seen Mathis, who's reached base in his previous 2 attempts. The most recent one being the line drive sent into right field. Before that, he won the foot race to first. Jordan has scored 5 runs each in the first and second inning. In danger of going 3 up, 3 down here. As the count's evened at 1-1. Gamel. Allows the outside ball to pass for 2-1 our count. Stockton Mathis now ahead in the count, 3-1. Mathis falls to full count. He's batting .451 on the season. Has 41 hits and 91 at-bats. Can he reach base for the 3rd time today? He will not. He's retired. So it's 3 up, 3 down for the Skyhawks as they retire Mathis. That's the 2nd strikeout of the game for Gamel. Skyhawks do their job defensively. We'll see if they can get the bats hot as they try to get back into this ball game. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. We welcome you back into UCCU Ballpark. I'm JT Wistersill, excited to be with you for all of 5A bracket play for the next few days. We reach the championships on Friday. Dusty Lister will take over. So we'll have the 5A and 6A championship games coming up. For the Skyhawks, it'll be DH Sam Richards, followed by Zaylen Fenn, then Charlie Cushing. All due up as we're set to get the 4th inning underway. Vigil gets it off with a strike. Richards, in his previous 2 plate appearances, sent one into center field before flying out to left field, what brought an end to the 2nd inning. Now in his first at-bat of the 4th inning, he sits 1-1 in the count. Richards will call for time as he steps out. Richards batting .414 as he sends this one in a shallow center field. It'll make it with a hop all the way back to Stockton Mathis. Second base hit of the day. For Richards, as Zaylen Fenn returns. Zaylen Fenn struck out the last time we saw him. Flew out to center field before that. Had the 2 home run in yesterday's game. If he was able to hit a home run here, it'd pull his team within 5 of the Beetdiggers. High delivery from Vigil. There is action underway. For Jordan in their bullpen. Fenn set for the 1-0 pitch. He'll chop it directly to Carter, who's unable to field it as it bounces off his stomach. And he can't get on it in time. That's the one thing for Jordan today. That's going to be, I believe, the third error. It could possibly be the fourth if the scoreboard is delayed, but at least the third error is there's been some fielding issues for Jordan. They've had some opportunities to get out of innings quicker, but just haven't been able to get some of those more routine outs. And Salem Hills has life because of the misplay. So 2 runners on. Fenn reaches first for the first time today. Richards goes to second with Charlie Cushing now due up. Last time we saw Cushing had the line drive into right field. He was retired in his first at-bat to end the first inning. Vigil delivers to the outside. One the count. With 2 runners on, still no outs. Oakland Vigil has given up 3 runs so far, surrendered 6 hits. Tries to get his team back. Tries to get his team to maintain their lead. That low pitch passes Caden Alder at catcher and allows Fenn to advance to second and Richards to go to third. Two on the count. Vigil delivers the high pitch to now second baseman and former starting pitcher of this game, Cam Coburn. Coburn has reached base in both of his previous plate appearances. He's the only one of the first 5 batters for the Skyhawks to do so. He crushed one deep into center field his first at-bat. Was hit by pitch in the second. He'll lift this one into foul territory. Full count. Vigil trying to prevent loaded bases or any more runs scoring. Going to see Caden Alder take a trip up to the mound to talk things over with Vigil, figure out how they want to play this as they try to retire Cushing. So Charlie Cushing with Cam Coburn on deck. Cushing, full count, awaits the pitch. He destroys it into right field. That one will reach, and having trouble playing it is Beecham. That'll be a double for Cushing. He brings in 2 runs with both Fenn and Richards able to score. As that one soared into right field. This could be the end of the day for Vigil, as Coach Fifey makes his way to the mound, and it will be. So 2 runs brought in, our ball game now 5-10. Jordan still leads, but the lead is shrinking. We'll step away as Jordan makes a change on the mound. New man on the mound for Jordan is Carter Perry. Perry, the 5'11 junior, will step in and look to limit the damage to just 2 runs. Jordan, after surrendering just 1 run in the first 2 innings combined, is given up now 4 in the 3rd and 4th inning combined. Lone base runner on second is Charlie Cushing. After his double brought 2 in. Perry, 6.63 the ERA, 5 appearances on the season. 6 and 1 innings pitched. He's allowed 11 hits, 7 runs, 6 of those earned, and 8 strikeouts to 4 walks. As Perry sets, checks back, delivers. One 0 the count after the high first delivery from Perry. In yesterday's game, Jordan just used 2 pitchers. After Atkinson went 6, Kobe Carter went just 1. We'll see how long Carter Perry is able to go today. Looking for his first strike. Ball 3 is delivered. 3-0 the count. Still no outs in the inning for Jordan. Coburn. He'll walk to first. So Nolan Miller now due up to face off against Perry. Miller's day so far. He's had 2 ground balls. The first one launched into left field. The second one right up the gut. This one's a ball off the first delivery. Perry will reset. Delivers. His first strike. Fourth inning just getting started here at UCCU Ballpark. Miller allows another strike to pass. 1-2 the count. Miller in danger of striking out, so he'll become more protective of home plate. It'll be more Miller than Wyatt Hickman, due up. His short chopper is foul. Miller, ready for it. As the ball's delivered well to the outside. Count now at 2-2. A reminder, our second game of the day, scheduled for 1:30. As Perry's able to capture his first strikeout. He retires Nolan Miller, bringing up Wyatt Hickman. Hickman's first plate appearance was a strikeout. The second one was that high pop ball he hit in the right field. Perry delivers another strike as he looks to be settled in now. Still 2 runners on. But our next game scheduled for 1:30 if needed. That time may change based on when this one wraps up. Second game of the afternoon will feature Maple Mountain versus Orem in our second losers bracket game here at UCCU Ballpark. High flyer caught. So Kobe Carter comes over from third, makes the grab. Gets it over to first to retire Hickman for the second time today.
Now batting the first baseman, number 1, Zach Nelson.
Zach Nelson now due up. Nelson was able to reach first in his last at-bat off an error from Carter. His first at-bat was a walk, trying to load the bases here and keep the inning alive. That ball well caught by Nalder. If it would have passed, would have allowed Cushing to score. .3-0 the count. Nelson takes the first strike. Heading the count 3-1. Perry looking to get full count. It's a grounder. Takes a hop to Atkinson, who gets it to Kershaw. Kershaw was off the bag. So Cole Kershaw, too far off. After the throw from Atkinson was too far. So another error, the fourth of the game. Charge to the Beetdiggers. Allows another run to score. So it's a 6-10 ball game now. So Nelson makes it to first. DeGraff and Reed walked in his first at-bat, flew out to second in his most recent one. The Salem Hills team continues to fight. They were in it versus the fourth seeded team, Olympus, last night. Now only trailing by 4 to the third-ranked Jordan Beetdiggers. One the count. Runners on Thurston for third and first. Cushing just scored. Corbin on third. Nelson at first. Pitch sailed to the outside, allowing Nelson to easily make it to first. Two the count. 2 outs. Perry already with 1 strikeout. The outside delivery will bring us to full count. The second straight batter. DeGraff and Reed trying to reach base. Load the bases up with the top of the order. Spencer Vance on deck for the Skyhawks. Perry delivers it low. So bases loaded, with DeGraff and Reed securing his second walk of the day. Spencer Vance flew out to center in his first and third at bat. Flew out to second in his second at bat. He's got a great opportunity to make a play for his team. He represents the tying run at home. Showed bunt but pulled back, so it'll be a strike. Salem Hills has left 3 runners stranded on in both the first and in both the second inning and the third one. They'll look to avoid doing so here. Perry delivers another strike. Vance lets it pass. 0-2 the count. Vance will step out, take another practice swing, then reset. Tapping home plate. He awaits the pitch from Carter Perry. This one lifted high. It's a grand slam. Spencer Vance with the huge hit. He crushed it into right field and just tied the game. He stomps home emphatically as he is mobbed by his teammates. What a big time hit. Spencer Vance just tied it up. 10-10. 7 runs in the top of the 4th for the Skyhawks. What a huge hit from Vance. Vance, the senior, making an incredible play, giving his team huge life. That'll bring up Sam Richards. Richards singled to center in his first at bat. Flew out to left field in the second. Then had a grounder that broke through on a hop to reach center field. He'll call time as he steps out. Now sit tied in the hits department as well, 8-8. Jordan with 4 errors. None for the Skyhawks. You look back to yesterday, and this is a Jordan team that looked to have their place secured in the winners bracket. as they led 7-3 was 7-4 was the lead. But then those 5 runs from Wasatch allowed them to win the game 9-7. The Wasps took it. And now the Beetdiggers land here with a tie game. As that single is fair. That ball lifted into left field. That's a double for Richards. Richards had the first base hit of the day for the Skyhawks. He sends that one right down the third base line. So Zalen Fenn going to be back up. Fenn, or excuse me, it's actually Richards. Richards was the first batter of the 4th inning. He got a hit the last time he was up, did so again. Zalen Fenn reached base because of an error in his previous at-bat. He'll try to do so again. Won the count for Carter Perry. So now 9 hits for the Skyhawks. This one a grounder. Hits Atkinson in the gut. He gets that one to Kershaw cleanly. So the Skyhawks leave one stranded on, but they don't care. They scored 7 runs in the top of the 4th. We have a tie game in our first game of the losers bracket and first day of the second day of 5A bracket play at Utah Valley University. We'll see if the Beetdiggers can break the tie when we return. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Due up for Jordan is Hunter Gotti, Cole Kershaw, and Cade Nalder. So they got to be hungry to get back at the bats. Dagan Gamel came in and has made quick work since. After Jordan had scored 5 runs in the bottom of the second, he came in with 2 outs, quickly retired Larson. Then Carter, Beecham, and Mathis. It was 3 up, 3 down quickly. Outside ball delivered for ball 1. Gotti's day at a glance. Flew out into left field in his first at-bat. Then at a grounder, go right up the gut past second base. This one chopped. Takes a tough bounce as it hit Charlie Cushing. So runner on first now. Gotti off the tough grounder. Be the first error charge to Salem Hills. Kershaw now due up. Kershaw's first at-bat was the 2-run homer. Walked in his second plate appearance. His home run was the one into right field. The most recent home run we saw in right field was the grand slam from Spencer Vance to tie the game. Gotti remains settled on first. Fly ball into right field. Fielded by Nolan Miller to retire Kershaw for the first time. So Cade Nalder due back up. Nalder had the second home run. He is into left field. He walked in his previous at-bat. He'll try to be the first beat digger to reach base for the 3rd time safely today. Alder 0-1 the count. Now 0-2. Gamel has had 2 strikeouts so far, both of which were inning enders. His first ended the bottom of the second. His most recent ended the bottom of the third. Here, just looking to put himself in a position to end the inning. Still just 1 strikeout. Could change it with this pitch. Instead, it's phenomenally caught. That was a line drive. With the snag by Cushing. What an incredible play. Actually, we'll set to redo the full count after I believe was a balk. So unfortunately, Dagan Gamel had the balk, which allowed Gotti to advance to second. Erases the phenomenal play by Cushing. This ground ball will break into left field. So Nalder to first. Gotti to third. So on the balk, extremely unfortunate by Gamel. Instead of 2 outs and just 1 runner on first, it's 1 out with 2 runners on. And now you have Gotti, who's the leading run at third. Atkinson fouls that one back. Atkinson reached second. Atkinson reached second off the ground ball that went into the very corner of left field. Just stayed in fair first. Then he was retired in his previous at-bat on a slow roller, but he did bring in a run. We're tied at 10-10 in the runs department, in the hits department as well. 4 errors to 1. Jordan has had more than the Skyhawks. One, two, the count. Pickoff attempt unsuccessful as they targeted Nalder. It's actually a pinch runner for Nalder. Atkinson fouls that one back into the press box. Falls to 2-1 in the count. Atkinson allows another ball to pass. Evening the count at 2 apiece. Dagan Gamel's given up his first 2 hits of the game in this inning. Trying to prevent a run from scoring, just 1 out. Atkinson nearly swung. He pulled back. Salem Hills fans displeased with the call. So we reach full count. Gamel in danger of loading the bases. Atkinson looking to break the tie. And he'll do it. Atkinson did not agree with our home plate umpire's decision. He had already tossed the bat, planned on heading to first. Instead, he'll be the 3rd strikeout of the game for Dagan Gamel. What a big-time play for Gamel. Colton Austin now due up. Austin, already with 2 home runs in the game. He's brought in 5 of the team's 10 runs. He had The 2-run shot in the first into left field, and then a 3-run shot into left field. 2 outs in the inning, 2 runners on base. Austin, the DH, hits a bouncer and gets it to Fenn, who gets it to Nelson. Salem Hills gets out of the inning. They leave 2 stranded on base. So we remain tied as we head into the 5th. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. 3 innings in the books. Potentially 4 innings in the books. Potentially 3 more to go here at UCCU Ballpark in their first of 4 games today. Looking at the other games and the schedule for the day, Maple Mountain and Orem scheduled for 1:30. That game very much subject to change based on how this one is playing out early. Our third game of the afternoon will be Wasatch versus Olympus at 4:30, and our nightcap, Lehigh versus Bountiful, scheduled for 7. Also be 4 games on tap tomorrow and 2 potential games if necessary, depending on if the teams that emerge from the winner's bracket lose to the teams that emerge from the loser's bracket in our clash. And then we'll have our bracket 1 and bracket 2 winner go head-to-head to see who will be the 5A state champion. Ball's fouled off by Cushing. Last time we saw Cushing drove in 2 runs and forced the pitching change for the Beetdiggers as they went from Vigil to Carter Perry, who remains on the mound. One and 1 the count. Cushing bites on it, falls to 1 and 2. There is someone warming up for Jordan in the bullpen. Perry was hit a few times in the previous inning, but despite that, Coach Fifey decided to stick with him. Perry is hit. Is that a homer? It will be. That one just squeaks over the right fence. So Charlie Cushing with the 2nd home run of the day for his team as he crosses home and is greeted by his teammates. That gives Salem Hills their first lead of the day. Also bring up Cam Corbin, who's reached base in both of his 3 plate appearances so far. Walked in the most recent at-bat for him in the 4th inning. Was hit by a pitch before that and sent one deep into center field. So what a performance by Salem Hills as they're able to get back into this game. They have 10 hits now, 11 runs on the afternoon. Outside delivery. Makes the count 3-0. Coburn will walk to first. Carter Perry struggling at the moment. And because of that, Coach Fifey very well may make a change. In fact, he will. So we'll step away. Salem Hills takes the lead off the home run from Charlie Cushing. It's 11-10. Ryan Upham, the new man on the mound for the Beetdiggers. Third pitcher, Coach Fifey's turned you today. Still no outs in the inning. It's the fourth inning now that the Skyhawks have scored. Pickoff attempt unsuccessful to first, as Nalder tried to get it from the catcher spot. Nolan Miller struck out in his last plate appearance. Before that, had grounders that broke into left and right field that allowed him to reach base. Shows bunt. As it's fouled off, bringing us to 1-1. Look at Upham's numbers on the season. ERA is even at 7. 1-0 the count. 7 appearances. 7 innings pitched. He's allowed 6 hits, 7 runs, all 7 of those earned. 9 walks and 12 strikeouts to his name. He's given up 1 home run and 25 batters faced. Evens the count at 2-2 with that one being fouled off by Miller. Strike 3 delivered. Nolan Miller retired. Ryan Upham comes in and retires Miller. I'll bring up Wyatt Hickman. First out of the top of the 5th inning. Captured by Jordan. Hickman takes a hack, gets nothing. Hickman struck out in his first plate appearance and reached first off the high popper into right field. Bites on another to go to 0-2 in the count. Hickman. Fouls it off to stay alive. Coburn on first. Upham looking for a second strikeout. He'll get it. Or it was fouled off. Did not look like contact was made, but apparently it was. Count remains at 2-0. 4 straight strikes delivered from Ryan Upham. High delivery. Going to allow Coburn to easily make it to first. Check that second. 1-2 the count. Do you see action in the bullpen for both teams at the moment? Upham, 1 strike away from securing his second strikeout and second out of the inning. Nearly came on that pitch, but it was just to the outside. Upham, a senior, getting the opportunity to help his team advance in this one. Hickman awaits a 2-2 pitch. It's popped up. Going to try to make a play on it. And able to do so is Cole Kershaw. He comes off from first and gets the snag from inside the bullpen of the Skyhawks. Zach Nelson now due up after the foul pop out. So Nelson looking at his day so far. As it looks like we might see a pinch runner. For the Skyhawks. In fact, we will. So pinch running for Salem Hills. It's going to be number 32. And seeing as a 32 is not on my roster, I'm left to speculate. Nelson bites on the pitch. So we got his last name via the official roster card is Stewart. So Stewart on second. High flyer once again in foul territory. Kershaw gets his team out of it. But the home run by Charlie Cushing gives the Skyhawks the one-run advantage. So Salem Hills 11, Jordan 10, bottom of the fifth. Getting underway shortly. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Welcome back inside the UCCU ballpark. Gonna have a pinch hitter here. That'll be Noah Hopkins. Check that. Boston Williams will be the pinch hitter for Kobe Carter. Carter had yet to reach base today. Boston Williams will try to do so here. Williams allows the low ball to pass from Dagan Gamel, still on the mound for the Skyhawks. Williams gets another low ball pass. 2-1 our count goes. A reminder, our game between Orem and Maple Mountain is the next one scheduled. That one has that foul ball nearly hit us up in the booth, causes the pause. So our second game due up at 1:30. That one will be delayed. We will let you know if you're tuning in, trying to see when that game may get underway. We will let you know when we know. As 2-1 our count goes. After Boston Williams took a hack and got nothing. And Dagan Gamble able to retire the pinch hitter in Boston Williams. So Boston Williams was actually hitting for Cade Larson. So now Kobe Carter due up. Kobe Carter's yet to reach base today. Cade Larson, before Boston Williams had took over, had struck out 2 times. Now Williams makes it 3 strikeouts in the 7th spot for the Beetdiggers. 1 out. 1-0 the count. Gamel as the chopper is a go by Carter, who's retired. He's put the ball in play every time, but been retired all the same. Bridger Beecham now due up for Bridger Beecham. Grounded out in his first plate appearance. Dewsdale and Finn at shortstop. Then hit one directly to Gamel, which he was able to retire. That ball slapped foul. So 2 outs now in the inning. It was 10 runs in the first 2 combined for Jordan. Since then, 2 zeros in the scoring runs department. And now in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs, they're in danger of leaving another inning unable to score. This one's sent into center field. But Nolan Miller makes the grab, retiring Beecham for the 3rd time today. So it's 3 up, 3 down, Dagan Gamble. Gamel continuing to be in control on the mound as the Skyhawks able to hold their 11-10 lead. We head into the 6th at Utah Valley University. Skyhawks back at the bats at UCCU Ballpark with our 6th inning. Seconds away from beginning. Luke DeGraffenried due up. He'll be followed by the top of the batting order for the Skyhawks. For DeGraffenried, 2 walks. And he flew out to second. So he awaits the delivery. Sends this one high. Directly to Kobe Carter. So the 2nd infield pop out of the day for the catcher, Luke DeGraffenried. That'll bring back Spencer Vance. The last time we saw Vance, that big-time grand slam. He sent far and high into right field. He'll step in now. In this game, we've seen a combined 6 home runs. Ryan Upham, remains on the mound. For Jordan. (1-0) the count as he faces Vance. Vance, before his grand slam, had flew out in each of his previous plate appearances. But all it takes is that one, and he made the biggest play of the day that was able to tie things up for his team. He'll launch this one into foul territory. (1-1) the count. Another's popped into foul territory, so our count goes to 1-2. This one lifted into center field. It'll take a bounce before it reaches Mathis. So Vance makes it to base for the 2nd straight at-bat. Although his previous one, he didn't stay there long as he just tapped each one quickly after his grand slam. Bring Sam Richards back up. Richards reached base in 3 of 4 appearances on the day. That foul ball was dangerously hit the mask of Nalder. (0-1) the count for Richards, who fouled the previous ball off. That ball nearly hit Richards as he maneuvers out of the way of it. Runner on first in Vance. Salem Hills still holds the 11-10 lead. Our hits department, 11-9 in favor of the Skyhawks over the Beetdiggers. Tag out at first, unsuccessful. Another outside delivery by Upham. Richards fouls a ball high. Looks like it'll land in the bullpen of Jordan. Richards looking to make it the 4th time today he's reached base in 5 at-bats. He's hit both into the outfield, with the exception being a ground ball. 2-2 pitch is high. Full count. Sam Richards chops it. Atkinson fields it. Gets it to first in time. Richards is retired.
The shortstop, number 8, Salem Fenn.
Zalen Fenn now due up. Two outs in the inning. This one lifted into center field. Should be an out. And it will be. Stockton Mathis makes the grab off of Fenn. Gets the Beetdiggers out of the inning. They still trail by 1 run. They'll see if they can tie it up in the bottom of the 6th. When we come back, you're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Bottom of the 6th. Represents an opportunity for Jordan to tie this game or potentially take a lead. Appreciate all of you who have tuned in for our first game of action. I'm JT Wistersill. Due up for Jordan is going to be the top of the order. The man who just secured the last out for the Beetdiggers in center field. It's Stockton Mathis, followed by Hunter Gotti and Cole Kershaw in the hole.
The center fielder, number 27, Stockton Mathis.
For Mathis, he struck out in his previous plate appearance. Before that, reached base in his first 2 at-bats, the first one being the foot race he won. The second one, a line drive he launched into right field. Mathis awaits the Gimel pitch. It's a grounder that passes by the reaching Cushing. And it'll make it all the way into left field. So diving and reaching second safely is Mathis.
Playing left field, number 8, Hunter Gotti.
Hunter Gotti now due up. Gonna have a pinch runner come in. Or we'll just have Mathis grabbing a new belt. Don't know why a belt change was made, but it was as he heads to second. High delivery means a 1-0 count. Gotti reached base in both of his previous at-bats with grounder. Grounders going into left field and center field. Tying run on second. Gotti fouls it off. 1-2 the count. Gamel looking for the first out of the inning. Try to capture it via the strikeout in a moment. Grounder once again passes Cushing. Reaches Hickman in left field. So another base hit for Gotti. This one almost identical to the one Mathis hit. Speaking of Mathis, he'll advance to third. So Cole Kershaw returns. Kershaw, the two-run shot back in the first. Had a walk after that. Then flew out into center field. So it's 4 home runs on the day for Jordan, 2 for Wasp, for Salem Hills. You see a mound meeting take place. For the Skyhawks, as Coach Handy makes his way out. No action underway in the bullpen of the Skyhawks, so this game firmly in the hands of Dagan Gamel. Seeing as it is 1:23, our second game will be delayed. Expect that one first pitch to come a little after 2 at this point. Looking back over our action yesterday, Jordan in this position after Wasatch came swarming back to take the late lead. Wasatch knocked off the Beetdiggers 9-7, while Salem Hills fell to Olympus 5-9. One of these teams will be eliminated. Kershaw fouls the first one off. Winner of our game here. Gone to play in our first game tomorrow at 11. Kershaw sends it into left field, but it's caught. Tying run's going to come in and score. But a good opportunity for Jordan to get 2 outs. Or Salem Hills able to secure 2 outs as they get the tag out. So after all that, it's Cole Kershaw who flies out into left field, allows Stockton Mathis to tag up and tie this game at 11. But getting caught in the process was Gotti. So Gotti was caught in the pickle for the second out. (11-11). Our runs and hits as well. But as we're all knotted up, this one's sent into right field. Is it gone? It will be! A huge home run from Caden Alder. He breaks the tie and gives his team a 12-11 lead. What a wild game this has been. That's Alder's second home run of the day. As he crosses home plate. And is greeted with the synchronized jump. It's a 12-11 Jordan lead. What a hit by Nalder. His second home run of the day. He's now the second Beetdigger with 2 home runs in the afternoon. Austin with 2 homers as well. Kershaw, the one who just flew out into left field, has 1. So 5 homers on the day for Jordan. 2 for Salem Hills. 12-11, the lead. Atkinson letting the ball pass. For a strike. So 2 outs in the inning. But the tying runs scored off Kershaw's sacrifice fly. This one hit into center left field, but caught by Nolan Miller. So Evan Atkinson retired. So the Skyhawks now trail after shredding 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th. It was the first 2 runs scored since the bottom of the 2nd for Jordan. Jordan 3 outs away from advancing as they've stormed back to take the lead over Salem Hills. We move into the 7th. You're watching Game Night Live Rewind. Just about 2.5 hours into action in our first game of the day. And what's been an absolute thriller. 12-11 to score at the moment. Jordan taking the lead off the huge home run from Larson. Or excuse me, Caden Alder was the one who lifted them to the win. Recapping our action on the day. It was all Beetdiggers early. They led 10-1 through the first 2 innings. Then 2 runs scored in the top of the 3rd for Salem Hills, and the huge 7-run inning at the top of the 4th for the Skyhawks. They would add 1 in the 5th, leading to an 11-10 lead. And after that big homer and another run scored off the sacrifice fly, it's a 12-11 game. Jordan in control. This one sent and it'll drop in the left field. Charlie Cushing had the home run in his previous plate appearance. That one. High flyer. Drops in. Tying run on first. Cam Coburn due up. Gonna have a pinch runner come in. Place of Cushing, it looks like. The pinch runner Coach Haney calls on is Jack Guest. Guest, the senior, will take over for Cushing. So Cam Coburn got the start on the day for Salem Hills. Now comes into the mound. One 0 the count. So another strike is delivered by Ryan Upham. Jordan 3 outs away from closing this one out. But Jack Guest, the tying run, settled on first. Another outside pitch delivered by Upham. Coburn hasn't had a hit since the first inning. That's because he hasn't needed to. He was hit by a pitch in his second at-bat with 2 walks sprinkled in after. He'll foul this one. And just shy of making the play was Cole Kershaw. Two the count. Count now full after Upham thought he had the strikeout. Coburn yet to strike out today. Can Ryan Upham change that? It's a chopper opportunity for a double play. Can they make it? They do. Jordan steps up. Retiring Coburn at first and Cushing. So Guest is retired. Guest was the pinch runner for Cushing. Coburn also retired after the short chopper was played by Cade Larson. But then Evan Atkinson getting it over to Cole Kershaw on first in time. Huge double play, the biggest defensive play we've seen on the day. Jordan 1 out away from advancing. Salem Hills down to their last life. Nolan Miller now up. Struck out the last 2 times he's appeared at home. Before that, a pair of grounders to reach base. A grounder. Atkinson can't close his glove. He trapped it, but just couldn't secure the ball. As the tying run once again reaches first in Nolan Miller. So Wyatt Hickman now due up. Hickman steps in. Hickman flew out in his last plate appearance, grounded out. Before that, lone time to reach base, courtesy of the pop out or pop up. He also struck out in his first plate appearance. He's trying to advance the tying run on first, but the huge double play. One our count with 2 outs. Runner on first is Nolan Miller. Foul ball is chopped. Upham 1 out away. The Jordan faithful can sense it as they come to their feet. Wyatt Hickman awaits the delivery. For a second, it looked like Hickman had swung. Instead, he did pull back for the ball. Capitalizing on the chaos and confusion was Miller, who now reached second. 2-2 count for Ryan Upham. Jordan stormed back in the bottom of the 6th with the 2 big runs to tie it up and then take the lead. Can they win it? Not on that low pitch. Full count. Ryan Upham drills one in the left field. Is that going to bring in the tying run? It will. Crossing home plate was Nolan Miller. What a huge hit on full count from Wyatt Hickman. Keeps the Salem Hills season alive. The leading run now seated on first. Is Zach Nelson now due up? Nelson. That's the outside first ball pass. Or excuse me, that was a strike. Another outside delivery. Count goes to 1-1. Ryan Upham. Set to deliver the 1-1 pitch. That one a ball. Nelson lifts one in the left, but it's caught. Gotti makes the grab, colliding with Mathis, but still holds on to the ball to get the out. So we have a tie game once again. After the big hit from Hickman brought in Nolan Miller. 12-12. We move into the 7th. Salem Hills and Jordan locked in a great one. Welcome back inside UCCU Ballpark at Utah Valley University. It's been a fun game, and it's going to come down to the bottom of the 7th. We are tied at 12. Courtesy of the huge hit from Nelson. Nelson sent it into left field, brought in a run. It would be a crucial one as it tied the game and allows Salem Hills to play on. They'll need to get it done defensively if they want to force extra innings. Due up for Jordan is going to be Colton Austin. Austin, 2 home runs on the day. Doing so here would mean a walk-off win and the season continuing for the 3-seeded Jordan Beetdiggers. This one racketed into right field. Oh, it's foul. Ho, ho, ho. Nearly a huge hit. As Austin was trying to waste no time. His first home run was into left field. His second one was into right field as well. It brought in 5 runs in total. 0-1 the count after that one just drifted foul. Jordan faithful all exhales. Austin fouls it off, falls to 0-2 in the count. He wants to make the play for his team. So bad, you could tell. Boston Williams, the pinch hitter, on deck with Kobe Carter in the hole. Austin was set for the pitch, but instead, assistant coach for the Skyhawks, Andy Gohl, going to make his way over and talk things over with Dagan Gamel. No one in the bullpen for Salem Hills, so this game is Gamel's. Austin looking for what would be, he had 4 home runs coming into the game. Already has 2 today, so his 7th home run on the season. Would be his 3rd of the game. Colton Austin, 0-2 the count. That ball rolls in the dirt to reach DeGraff and Reed. DeGraff and Reed for the first ball of the at-bat. Austin, the DH, awaits the delivery from Gamel. Count evened up after consecutive balls from Dagan Gamel. Austin smoked it. Will it drop? It will. Takes a bounce, reaches the fence. It's going to officially be a double. It's not a homer, but still a huge hit for Colton Austin. That one took a bounce, reached the fence. Making the diving attempt for it was Nolan Miller. Now coming to the mound is going to be Coach Haney. So interestingly, that is going to be it for Gamel, which there was no one actively warming up in the bullpen. So we'll see who Coach Haney decided to call on. We're going to step away while Salem Hills sorts this out. The game-winning run located on second in the bottom of the 7th at UCCU Field. Nolan Miller is the reason this game was extended after he brought in the run. For the Skyhawks, he's now going to be trusted to make sure it goes into extra innings. He is on the mound. The numbers for Miller, the junior, on the mound, 4.72 the ERA, 2-2 the record, 8 appearances on the season. 26-2 innings pitched. He's allowed 22 hits, 21 runs, 18 of those earned, 27 walks to 30 strikeouts. Surrendered just 1 home run in 130 batters faced. Boston Williams, the pinch hitter, comes in. Struck out the last time we saw him. Miller checks behind, delivers, bunt, attempt is a go, and perfectly executed. So 1 out in the inning as Boston Williams does his job to perfection. Austin now settled on third with Kobe Carter. One out in the inning. Carter due up. Carter has yet to reach base today. He'll look to turn that around against Miller, or even sending one out deep into the field. The outskirts of it would allow Austin to tag up and secure the win. Carter pops it up. And it's in the infield, so not far enough for a tag-up opportunity as Carter is retired on the shallow pop. That'll bring up Bridger Beecham. Beecham yet to reach base today as well. He's put the ball in play every time, but been retired. Sacrifice fly off the table now for Beecham. So he awaits the delivery from Miller. It's an outside ball. Nolan Miller has to be careful if he was to sail any too far past Luke DeGraff and Reed. That allowed Beecham to steal home and secure the win for Jordan. Beecham fouls it off, moving our count to 1-1. 2 outs in the game. The winning run, Bridger Beecham, settled on third. Miller sets, winds, delivers. Chopper to first. It's bobbled for a moment. Foot race. He was retired. Unable to get there in time was Bridger Beecham. He'll leave Austin stranded at third. So 7, not enough for this one. We'll go into extra. All tied at 12. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. 7 was not enough. We'll need extra innings at UCCU Ballpark. The 3-seeded Jordan Beetdiggers and 12th-seeded Salem Hills Skyhawks locked in a good one. The winner of this one will move on to play in tomorrow's first game, scheduled for 11. It'll be the first game of our losers bracket of the second day. So Luke DeGraff and Reed will lead it off. Gets the top of the 8th underway. Ryan Upham delivers. The strike. Oh, 2 the count with back-to-back strikes delivered by Upham. Another ball delivered high. One, 2 the count. Grounder. Fielded by Carter. Gets it over to first. First out needed for Jordan. That'll bring up Spencer Vance. Vance failed to reach base in his first 3 plate appearances, but then the huge grand slam in the 4th. Looking at Vance, also had the fly ball into center that dropped. He was able to reach base safely in that one as well. Moves out of the way of the ball. 1-0 the count. Vance chops it, takes the hop, reaches Atkinson. Kershaw captures the out. So Sam Richards, the DH, now due up. Grounded out in his last plate appearance to Atkinson at second. Before that, lifted one into left field in his previous at-bat. Also has 2 other base hits, both of those reaching center field. So Sam Richards ready for the pitch from Upham. Curveball finds the strike zone. Richards sends it high. Should be an easy out for Mathis. It will be. He gets the grab. It's 3 up, 3 down for Salem Hills. They're unable to get the offense going. They'll have to stand strong defensively if they hope to hold Jordan in check and send this one into what would be a 9th inning. But the bottom of the 8th, opportunity for the Beetdiggers to take the lead. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Bottom of the 8th represents an opportunity for Jordan to secure a win. And it'll be the top of the order. Stockton Mathis will be due up first, the one who's closed out the top of the 8th for his team. He'll be followed by Hunter Gotti and then Cole Kershaw. One of those 3 men, an opportunity to be a hero. Nolan Miller remains on the mound. For Mathis. Sent one into left field the last time we saw him for a double. That one reached all the way to the wall. Before that, he struck out and reached base in his first 2 at-bats. This is 5th one of the day. Fouls it back into the net. All 1 the count. Oh, make it 0-2. After the high foul off. Miller looking for his first strikeout since taking over. The single. What a phenomenal play by Nelson, who makes the grab. That ball almost squeezed past him, but instead, the diving Nelson able to trap it. Retire Mathis at first, touching the bag himself. Hunter Gotti now due up. Gaddy awaits the delivery. Fouls it. It's the third ball already fouled off by the Beetdiggers, who are understandably being aggressive with their swings. High delivery will even the count at 1-1. Gaddy has reached base in all 3 of his previous at-bats. He'll look to do so again here, but instead sends it right to center field as he's retired. So Cole Kershaw hasn't reached base since the 2nd inning. Both flying out into center and left field, but of course in the 1st inning got the scoring started with a 2-run shot. Kershaw chops this one foul. Can tell everyone's so hungry to be the hero, swinging at anything remotely close. Any run here for Jordan would win it and allow them to fight another day. Miller winds, delivers. Low ball. Once again, our count 1-1. Miller delivers another that's fouled off by Kershaw. 1-2 the count. Has Kershaw reset and await the delivery. High pitch from Miller. Make it 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. It's the first time in 2 days of our bracket play we've needed extra innings. Kershaw chops it foul to stay alive. Cole Kershaw, the first baseman, has had some booming hits today. One of them being a home run, the other 2 falling just short and being flyouts. Kershaw allows ball 3 to pass. Full count. Cole Kershaw faced full count on his earlier home run. Can he get the same result off Miller? Kershaw calls for time. He'll reset. As Nolan Miller awaits for him. And another chopped off by Kershaw. Neither side giving any ground, knowing the significance of the moment. We're officially 3 hours into our game now. Kershaw continuing to fight. Kershaw swings the bats a few times, then sets. High pitch allows him to walk to first. That'll bring up Cade Nalder. Nalder had a home run the last time he was up. Nalder's home run, the one that tied things at 12. So Kershaw on first. Nalder steps in, gives home plate a tap, hoping to bring in Kershaw. If he was able to do so, his team would win it. High delivery. Bring Kershaw back to first. Nalder also had a home run in the 1st inning. He's reached base in all 4 of his previous plate appearances. Can he blast this ball? Nalder takes quite the hack, gets nothing. 1-1 our count moves. Miller waits for Nalder to set. He'll wind, deliver. Fouled over everyone's heads. Has Kershaw. Was moving on contact, and will make his way back to first. 1-2 the count after that foul off. This game early looked like Jordan was going to be able to win it in maybe 5 as they held a commanding lead. Then the 7-run explosion in the top of the 4th by the Skyhawks got them back into it, and we remain tied at 12. Since the lone run scoring from Salem Hills in the top of the 7th, pickoff attempt unsuccessful at first. Kershaw, they got him. Kershaw strayed too far off first. Miller connected with Nelson, who got the tag out. First baseman on first baseman crime. We'll move into the 9th. 8 wasn't enough. Extra innings continue. 12-12. Salem Hills and Jordan deadlocked. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. We welcome you back into UCCU Ballpark with the top of the 9th inning. Moments away from getting underway. Cole Kershaw was caught straying too far off of first base and was tagged by Zach Nelson. Now Ryan Upham returns to the mound for the Beetdiggers as they look to once again make it 3 Skyhawks down quickly, as that's what they were able to do in our top of the 8th. For Zaylen Fenn, this is his 6th at-bat already. He was retired in his first 2 plate appearance. Had 1 base hit on the air, then retired in 2 after that. Did have a huge 2-run homer in yesterday's game. We'll see if he can play hero here. Another strike delivered. Chopped foul, 2-0 the count. Upham, since coming in, has been strong. Looking to get his first strikeout. This one ripped into left field. Fenn goes down swinging. Upham retires him. The huge strikeout. That'll bring up Charlie Cushing. Cushing has had a hot bat today. Since he was retired in his first plate appearance, it's been nothing but hits. With a line drive into right field, he brought in 2 runs with a huge shot into right field as well. The huge home run lifted his team to a lead as that one's fouled off. And he also drove one into left field in his last appearance. So it's been a hot bat for Charlie Cushing, the third baseman. 0-2 the count. Upham continues to be sharp. Cushing is yet to strike out. Upham looking for back-to-back strikeouts. He'll do just that. What a pitch. Upham dominating on the mound as he retires his second straight Skyhawk. I'll bring up Cam Coburn. Coburn hit into the double play the last time we saw him. Him hitting into the double play put the odds of this game going into extra innings at a slim chance, but Salem Hills was able to respond. Grounder fielded by Larson. Throw makes it to first in time. 3 Skyhawks up, 3 down. Ryan Upham has come in and been outstanding. Jordan will take the bats in the bottom of the 9th, seeing if they can secure the win. We remain tied at 12. Welcome back inside to UCCU Ballpark. Bottom of the 9th represents a chance for the Jordan Beetdiggers, the 3 seed in our 5A tournament. The opportunity to knock off the 12th seeded Salem Hills Skyhawks. Jordan got things done defensively. Due back up will be Cade Nalder. He was involved in quite the battle with Miller when Miller and Nelson were able to connect and catch Kershaw from stealing. A reminder, Nalder with 2 home runs in this game. The first pitch of the bottom of the 9th was nearly a home run for Austin. This one sent into left field as Nalder's easily retired. That'll bring up Evan Atkinson, the pitcher. In yesterday's game, the second baseman all day today has yet to make contact, has yet to reach base since his second at-bat. Or excuse me, his first at-bat actually was the first one he was able to reach base. Atkinson away in the delivery. One 0 the count. Two 0 with 1 out. This one popped up. Doesn't look like it'll be playable, but actually it will be. That's Zach Nelson on first, able to retire Atkinson in foul territory. That'll bring up Colton Austin. Austin, 2 huge home runs earlier. Brought in a combined 5 runs. The last one we saw, last time we saw him at the plate, he sent one into center field. Austin allows the outside pitch to pass for ball 1. Austin lets the low ball pass. Two 0 the count. Miller set for the delivery. He finds the strike zone. Two 1 the count. Austin allows another low outside pitch to pass. Count now at 3-1. The full count pitch will be due up next after that strike. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Colton Austin. Austin goes down swinging. Miller with the strikeout. That's his first and couldn't have come in a more crucial time. We'll go into the 10th inning. We remain deadlocked at 12. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Top of the 10th. The farthest we've gone in our 2 days of play so far. So it's Colton Austin who went down swinging, the big-time strikeout by Miller. Speaking of Nolan Miller, he's on deck, but Cam Coburn is due up first. Ryan Upham made it 3 up, 3 down in both of his 2 extra inning appearances on the mound. He looked to do the same. He had back-to-back strikeouts to close out the offense of the Skyhawks the last time he was there. This one sailed. And Atkinson unable to make the catch. So Coburn makes it to first. The leading run now on base for Salem Hills. So Wyatt Hickman now due up. After, it was Nolan Miller, the one who actually lifted that ball. Hickman set for it. Lifts it in almost the exact same spot. That'll move Miller to second. And Hickman to first. Zach Nelson now due up. The bunt successful. Upham unable to get it in time. There's no outs in the inning, and the bases are loaded for Salem Hills. Ryan Upham was unable to make it in time. So Nelson to first, Hickman to second, Miller on third. Just need one run to give them the lead. DeGraff and Reed. His grounder breaks through. That's going to bring in just one. What a big-time hit. And it's going to be Nolan Miller who scores the leading run. 13-12, Skyhawks with the advantage. Bases remain loaded. Off DeGraff and Reed's first base hit of the game, and it came on the first pitch delivered by Upham. Looks like Upham's going to remain in the game at the moment. Still no outs. All runners on for the Skyhawks. It's DeGraff and Reed takes first. Nelson moves to second. And Hickman goes to third. It actually will be the end for Upham. So he's sent in. We'll give you the numbers and the name of the newest beat digger who will take the mound and try to get his team out of it. 13-12, Salem Hills has captured the lead. We welcome you back inside to Utah Valley University, where Jordan has made a pitching change. It'll be Matthew Merkley taking over on the mound for Ryan Upham. For Merkley, comes in a tough spot. Bases loaded, no outs. Spencer Vance due up for what is the 7th time today. Still no outs in the inning. Opportunity for Salem Hills to extend their lead. Low delivery for ball one. Merkley nearly hit Vance. Merkley 2-0 in the count. Need to get right or else walk in another run for the Skyhawks. .30 the count. Vance is yet to walk to first today. He had the big grand slam that allowed his team to land in this position. Those 7 runs in the top of the 4th proved extreme dividends. 3-1 the count after the strike, delivered by Merkley. This one sent into left field. Will it drop? Looks like a catch was made. No signal at the moment. So there is a lot of confusion at the moment, as it looks like the ball was not caught, so a run's going to score. It was a force out at second. So our umpires are going to come together and talk things over, figure out what happened. At the moment, it appears that Vance will stay on first. That DeGraff and Reed will be retired at second. Nelson will go to third. And Hickman, the run that scored. Either way, it's going to be 14-2. With at least one out. As everyone talks things over. So we try to figure out who's safe and who's not at UCCU Ballpark. A reminder, our second game of the afternoon, Maple Mountain versus Orem. It was originally scheduled for 1:30. First pitch at least won't be till 3 at the moment. More than likely even later, as our lengthy game continues. As does this lengthy discussion. Both coaches stand side by side, awaiting an explanation. Coach Haney and Fife are having what happened explained to them now, what the decision that was reached. It was difficult to tell if Gotti was able to make the grab out in left field. As now there's a discussion going on between the 2 umpires, 2 coaches. Try to sort out the mess. Salem Hills is up to 18 hits in the game. So Vance is going to head back, but that's because there's a pinch runner coming in for him. So we look set. So Vance is settled. I believe there was a runner at third the last time we checked. His bases were loaded. So there's a lot of explanation still underway here. But at the moment, Vance the lone runner. At first.
Now batting number 24, Sam Richter.
So 2 outs in the inning. Sam Richards now due up. One of the things that also happened is this one sent into right field. He'll take a hop, falling over, and able to make it back to second off the dive, and shaken up at the moment for Salem Hills. So someone is down at second for Salem Hills. It's number 34. So Averett down at second, and we're going to step away while they tend to him. Averett helped off on his own power. Helped off with help of the teammates, excuse me. He's not able to put pressure on the leg. Training staff will tend to him. So we had 2 outs. So going back to Spencer Vance's at-bat. So Vance flew one out that looked like it was caught by the left fielder, Hunter Gotti. Gotti did not catch it, but because the base runners were confused, they hung up. So by the time they ran, so it was Nelson was able to score, but DeGraffin, first it was Hickman able to score. Nelson was the one who was retired, caught running to third as the ball from Gotti was delivered to Carter, who got the tag. Then from there, as both base runners will advance. But then from there was the force out at second. So Vance was in need of a new pinch runner after the confusion. Looks like it's Caleb Holman at third at the moment. Biting on that one is Zalen Fenn. Richards on second after the base hit. So the 2 outs coming courtesy of the tag and the force, both on the Vance hit. This one lifted into right field. On it, Kershaw, he's got it. So 2 runs in the top of the 10th for Salem Hills. They lead it. Jordan will look to tie it up or win it in the bottom of the 10th. It'll be their last opportunity to do so. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind. Back here at UCCU Field, Jordan is going to have one last opportunity at the bat, so they need to score at least 2 runs to send it into extra. Look at the rest of our day. Sometime after 3, we'll have Maple Mountain versus Orem. Then at the conclusion of that game, about 30 to 40 minutes after, we'll have Wasatch versus Olympus at 4:30. That one was scheduled to start at 4:30. That start time highly in doubt, as is our 7 o'clock start time of Lehigh versus Bountiful. Teams need about 30 to 40 minutes to warm up. At the conclusion of these games, due up to face Nolan Miller, who's taken the mound for Salem Hills. It's going to be Boston Williams, Kobe Carter, and Bridger Beecham, the back 3 of the batting order for the Beetdiggers. Looking back at some of that scoring for the Skyhawks. Got started with a huge base hit from Nolan Miller. Wyatt Hickman followed him up. Zach Nelson had the great bunt that loaded the basin. Then Luke DeGraffenried had the ground ball that broke through down the third base. High delivery by Miller. Then it was Vance, who drove one into left field that scored the other run. So those are how the 2 runs scored. It was technically a double play for Jordan as they capitalized on the confusion. And then Fenn was just retired on the foul pop-out to leave 2 Skyhawks stranded on. There's been a lot of stranded base runners for both teams, especially for Skyhawks, but they were able to make up that difference and now hold the lead. High delivery makes it 3-0. As Williams resets, awaiting the pitch. And the high ball lets him walk to first. So the tying run now steps up to home plate. And Kobe Carter. He's yet to reach base in this one. He'll look to turn around his luck. Our game now 3.5 hours in. Miller will set. Deliver another high ball. Bridger Beecham on deck. Top of the batting order for the Beetdiggers in the hole. High fly ball. Fenn calls for it and secures it. Carter's retired for the 5th time today. We saw Luke DeGraffenried, who had yet to get a hit for Salem Hills. He was the catcher, the last batter of their order, get the huge ground ball that brought in the first leading run for Salem Hills. Can Bridger Beecham do the same? High delivery. Once again from Miller. Beecham lets the strike pass to even the count at 1-1. The count. Beecham bites on it. Miller, the delivery is fouled off. Count will remain at 2-2. Bridger Beecham with Boston Williams on first. The full count pitch that delivered well to the outside despite the boos from the Salem Hills fans. They are located on the right, so from their deceptive angle, it definitely looked like a strike, but it was well to the outside. Full count. Pickoff attempt unsuccessful. Count is actually 2-2 as the umpire corrects our official scoreboard. Another pickoff attempt unsuccessful. Beecham goes down swinging. He bites. Nolan Miller with his 2nd out of the inning for the Skyhawks. The 12th seed Salem Hills just 1 out away from upsetting the 3-seeded Jordan Beetdiggers. Strike delivered to Stockton Mathis. Mathis 3 for 5 in his plate appearances with 1 strikeout. Wind has really started to pick up, and it's blown a number of objects onto the field, one of them including an Orm hat. Trash also comes onto the turf. Yeah, UVU field. This is Salem Hills team that defeated Northridge, then Park City to make it to face Olympus. They lost to Olympus last night, but led for a large stretch of that game. And now 0-1 the count as they have an opportunity to get the win over Jordan. Foul ball. Lifted over everyone's heads. So 0-2 the count. Nolan Miller just one pitch away from allowing his team to advance. Slightly late on it was Mathis, who fouls it off. Oh, 2 the count with 2 outs. Nolan Miller, can he win it here? He will! Nolan Miller wins it for the Salem Hills Skyhawks. He's mobbed by his teammates. They capture the 14-12 win over the 3 seed. An upset at UCCU ballpark ensues. What a performance by both sides. Jordan scored 10 runs in the first 2 innings. Then Salem Hills got going at the bats, scored 2 runs in the 3rd after trailing 1-10. Then 4 in the 7th, that aided by a grand slam. The huge hit in that one was smashed by Spencer Vance. So Vance crushed that one off. Then from there, Wyatt Hickman brought in the late runs for his team. That brought us to our 11-11 tie game. And it was a fun one all the way till the end. We end up going 10 innings with Salem Hills scoring 2 in the top of the 10th. Those runs coming courtesy of DeGraff and Reed's grounder that brought one in, and Vance having another RBI single brought in. There were homers galore, runs, big timeouts, everything you could want in a baseball game, and it went extra innings. So the next game, our Orem versus Maple Mountain, the 9 versus the 22. That one will get going sometime around 3:15, more than likely 3:20. But your final from UCCU, the 12th seeded Salem Hills Skyhawks defeat the number 3 seed Jordan Beetdiggers as they advance, knocking off the 3 seed, ending their season. They'll play the loser of our Wasatch Olympus game scheduled for 4:30. But that'll do it for us. 14-12. Salem Hills takes it over Jordan. I'm JT Wistersill. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you here shortly for our second game of the afternoon at UCCU Ballpark.